Yes, 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 yes. Welcome to another video update, and now we are going to make a new recap. We're going to check what the market is going on now, and let me teach you how to make a quick market update and check what is going on in the market, what's been going on these days, and the greatest news here. So the volume is a bit high now, but we're going to talk about all about silver, precious metals. We have a very special show, and now I'm going to teach you how to make a quick market update. First, you go to finbiz.com and you're going to check that. Let's see, right there, and that's it. Okay, so if you check that, we're going to see in the finbiz.com all the details about what happened lately. If you go to futures page, let's check the futures page. I like to see what happened in the week with this week tab, and we see that the markets were neutral, a bit neutral, and the people keep talking about silver will protect them from inflation. That's wrong. That's wrong. It's not protecting from inflation. And we are going to check that all other things. Let me see here, where is the money? Let's check here. If you check, this is the price, all these precious metals, all this index, 1 day relative performance. And let's check here with the weekly chart, and if you see that we can see really a real trend in the stock market now. We have seen silver now for 25, and the pattern for me is complete, but it could go as low as 24. The pattern we've been warning for days, and Bitcoin is stuck in the 57k area, below there now. The big news this week was the BIS summit, with all the big wigs talking about the new technologies coming for the central bank, digital currencies, and the innovation between central bankers. The most important news is, one of the most important news is that we are getting more and more hints that we are going to see central bank digital currencies. Japan has announced that they are going to, the Bank of Japan has announced that they will start the proof of concept in April next month. So Japan is going on, and they are announcing that they are very close to start the testing of new central bank digital currencies. So they talk about gold, they talk bad about Bitcoin, and we have now a special way to see that the risk is increasing, because we have seen a bit movement of the leverage in the market, but things are really quiet now. The markets are trapped in highs, not moving. Crude oil is still stuck in the 60 area, and the pattern has been complete. All we have been saying, the channel was right. We saw explosion in lumber. Check the previous videos. We saw explosion in lumber. We saw gold getting hammered. We saw Bitcoin high 57k, and every time Bitcoin goes above 57k, a big guy in the monetary world starts to talk down Bitcoin. They keep talking down Bitcoin. Yellen, Agustin Carstens from the BIS, everybody is talking down on Bitcoin. At the same time, they are getting ready to launch their own central bank digital currencies, where the main concern is privacy and people acceptance. So if you are in the silver short squeeze movement and you are making a billboard that is saying that silver will protect you from inflation, that is wrong. This is wrong. But I understand that we have a quick and very important update to make, that they are a spiritual movement manifesting in the monetary system and in the financial system. So they are making a very important role there, increasing awareness, increasing consciousness that we are living in a parasitic monetary system. So we have now the chart, the famous chart we talked in the past, and the price of silver keeps pushing lower around 20. This was a bad week for silver, and with all the silver short squeeze, and we had fun with a big silver tweet account, because if you check the Twitter, we made fun from the fundamental analyst of precious metal, who never get the trends pretty correct. So they make fail forecasts based on fake data available in the precious metal market. So if you check now, we have a nice conversation with these guys. This guy is a very important Twitter account, and we found that check this chat we have here. Wall Street Silver guys were talking that the fundamental supply and demand of silver was balanced, but the physical demand was increasing, and we made fun about that, because we are saying, what about the secret space programs, asteroid mining, supply demand made by military groups and corps? Are you counting that supply and demand? Just kidding, or maybe not. And the other important precious metal Twitter account said, and don't forget the millions of ounces the world government gives to space aliens every year just to keep them happy and from attacking us. What does it mean? When I interviewed Karen Hughes, World Bank whistleblower, she was a former employee of the World Bank whistleblower. You can check my videos in the past. The World Bank confirmed in 2007 that she was an employee from there, and she claimed that governments had around 100,000 million ounces. So what does it mean? It means that there is much more gold that we already know. Is this gold from this planet or other planets? I don't know. Is this all fake news? I don't know. What I do know is that all those fundamental screamers about gold and silver never make correct forecasts. So what does it mean? It means that I don't trust fundamental data anymore. So they get horny with the data of the COMEX. Oh, the COMEX inventories are moving up, are moving down. We are seeing just silver moving from one place to another place outside a building or some warehouses. So you can make a real projection of world supply and demand based only on the COT reports, as some precious metal fundamental analysts try to make from that information. So now we have here these charts, and the situation is clearly stuck. It's clearly stuck. We can see no real movement in this week. And if you check this website, Finbiz, I really loved it. If you go to futures and you check the weekly, daily, and weekly performance, you see that there is no real action from now. This is a very website to get a quick market recap. No real action. And Bitcoin, which was quite a mess of people and retail people screaming that they were going to get rich, nothing is happening now. Everybody is quiet. This is very strange for Bitcoin. Maybe it's going to get hammered, I don't know. But you see the things are pretty stable now. Nobody is screaming anymore that they're going to get rich. and all the charts are saying, hey, maybe we are ready for a rest, maybe we are ready for a rest. So the moments to be aggressive are behind, and the governments are announcing that they will have more inflation, but they will keep them under control. So let's go back to the case of silver. Silver, will silver protect you from inflation? No. Is silver maybe a good investment after a potential correction for the next year? Yes, it's very important. Is silver an instrument that will protect you from inflation? You have to take that? No. Silver is a speculative investment. It's a speculative vehicle. That's all. So those guys talking about silver will protect you from inflation is wrong. If you bought silver in 2010, then you are under the sea now, because you bought above 30 and now you are $5 below that. So no, silver won't protect you from inflation, you can't say that. But we are in a moment that we may get even higher inflation, and will all the commodities be going up and reacting? Yes. Will the Federal Reserve crush inflation like they did with Volcker, with impressive interest rates 50 times higher than now? Well, maybe yes, maybe they can crash. And they are showing the market, they are screaming to the market that they are in control. They are in control. So the big news in this week was the BIS summit, where all the central bankers were talking about what is going on and what will they do with the central bank digital currencies, or as they like to say it, innovation. Innovation is coming, and as soon as they get resolved all the privacy issues, and maybe a two-tier system, one for the public, one for the central banks, they are clearly screaming now that they want full control of all people deposits, because banks are riskier than a system centralized in central banks. So they are screaming higher that they want total control of all deposits of the world and all of deposits from the people. Eliminate the presence of the banks and only allow them to be responsible from a front end that will provide payment services and other minor retail services. And the focus of the banks will be most likely cybersecurity, protection, and payments, quick payments and quick investments. That will be most likely the future role of the banks, the protection of data, and all the deposits will be saved in the central bank digital currencies. This will make obsolete the current financial system. This is what it's being talked now, and what is being analyzed, a new architecture that allows the central banks to control the deposits. So we have a crazy movement in the food prices now. We are going to see the corn prices, and the corn prices have a very insane weeks, very insane, that make you scream for food prices. Very insane week, and a massive correction here, which is very healthy, but we are still out there watching what could happen. Will we see higher food prices? Okay, as soon as I see the price of corn going up about 95 in the forex market, this means that things are going to start to get out of control. So I'm using corn to track inflation, and I believe that because you have this high here, was a high in 2008, and 2013 and 2012 and 2010. So if you go above that, prices will be out of control, completely out of control for the food prices. So we have a very big test and a big correction here, like a big. This is very. If you check the monthly charts, this means this is a very big slab. So we can say that we may have something is going on. That something is saying the market. This is not a real healthy movement. So something is scaring the market now. And what could be scaring the market? Well, we have now Argentina closing its borders with Brazil. As you check World of Meat, this is a website I've been following Brazil statistics, COVID. So if you check the Brazil COVID statistics, we have new record highs in deaths, in daily deaths in Brazil with the Brazil COVID variant. So we have new daily deaths going up. This is not fake infected numbers, like this is death numbers. So we now have multiple new record high deaths in Brazil. Are they faking the death numbers? I don't know. If you see mortality, it has started, made a low and it's starting to go up and now. So the death rate in Brazil made a low. In February last month, Argentina is around this death rate too, and now is every day the death rate is going up. Is this something related with the poor health system in Brazil? Yes, it's true. But the thing is that the governments are reacting to these charts, and the governments in South America are getting ready to close all the borders again. So according to my sources, they want to establish full lockdowns again in this country and more countries between now and May. So maybe this is the reason why food prices were out of control and then were heavily stopped. Everything was stopped. Bitcoin, silver, food prices, corn, everything stopped. What's going on? Something and someone is betting big against inflation now. And crude oil stopped around 60 and it was going to 70 pretty fast. So maybe it's a new COVID wave that will crash again all the inflation expectations by the people. I don't know. Maybe. But the movement in corn, the movement in crude oil is very violent. So I believe, according to my view, that we will see more corrections in the commodities. This is my opinion. This is not financial advice. So the violence of the stop of the commodities is warning that, hey, we may see more months ahead of pressure against commodities before we go back up. The violence is important, so we have to follow that. I believe we have to maybe stay in cash is a good strategy. Keeping the cash is a good strategy until things are more clear. So this is what I wanted to make this quick video update, because this is the way things get recorded, like the Bitcoin 57k prediction, or the silver prediction that it was going down, or the gold was going to get hammered. When I make live transmission, all the things are recorded live, and this will help. So this is a quick video update. It's time to keep the guard high. This is time to keep the guard high, because things are starting to show very dangerous. The way they stop Bitcoin, the way they stop commodities, and the way they are moving all these COVID stories around, but not with fake infection numbers but with death numbers. This is really a new game now, because they were locking people down with infection numbers. Now they are locking people now with high record death numbers. So it's time to stay alert, because risks are increasing now. The moment I see corn, cotton, all breaking their multi-year highs, because we are still moving in sideways, the moment will be out of control for a while. They may control the curve later, but the signals are here. This is time to stay quiet. We have quite a mess in Turkey. They have a crash there lately. This could also Argentina announced that they can't pay the debt by the vice president to the IMF. So the alarms are starting to sound slowly, and the market is still very quiet. We have to know what is going on with what Biden will do with the US dollar. But for now, everything looks under control, and maybe we will see more corrections in the commodity prices. If we check now gold chart weekly, it had a nice correction and now is stabilizing between 1700 and 1740. This is the area, and gold is failing around that number. So the weekly charts are not clear, and the monthly charts clearly shows that we could see even lower prices in gold around the area of 1630. This cannot be discarded. This is a scenario that could happen. And the weekly charts in the precious metal, in crude oil, also are warning that we could see even lower crude oil prices in the near future. Crude oil being hammered for 3 weeks very heavily. Is that COVID? Maybe it's COVID the explanation, maybe it's geopolitics, I don't know. But the violence of this hammering is very telling for me. So I advise caution now. So this is it. I don't want to make a long live transmission, and I will be back with a more professional and edited video about how to alter the matrix. The matrix can be altered, and I have made lots of experiments, and I will prove that with a more professional video edited next Friday as usual. Thank you very much.